Hi and welcome back to the video series, and we're looking at WordPress at the moment. We've installed it and set it up on our web hosting account, and we now have a website, which is fantastic because we've not had to pay for it. We've just actually set it up. WordPress is ready to use if you want to, but there's a few things that need configuring out of the box just to make it work a little bit better. Now what I mean by that is if I just go to the site a second here, if you come down to this post and hover over it, if you look down the bottom left, you'll see there's this little thing that says the website and then $p=1, which is post equals 1. Now that's not very SEO friendly for the search engines to find you and to just have a good name for people if they're looking for links to see your website. It doesn't tell you what P1 is. You wouldn't know what that post was about. If it was a good informative post, it would just be P1 and you wouldn't know. So you want that to actually reflect what it is that we're linking to, what's the name of it. And you can change all that inside of WordPress. So we're going to go into the dashboard again now, and I'm just going to walk you through some very simple and quick things that you can configure to make your life easier and just make the site a bit better. When you log into the WordPress and you've done your update, you'll sometimes get this welcome message that tells you about different things that you can read through about the site and the what's new. If you want to get rid of this, just go to this one that says Dashboard Home. And then it can tell you about new things like choosing your privacy settings, select your tagline and time zone, turn comments on or off, fill in your profile, etc. And actually walk you through. If you click this, it will take you to the settings to actually do that. So if we step back, if we choose our privacy settings here, you can see it saying, do you want search engines to index the site or not? Well, yes, you do want it to index it because at the end of the day, you want the search engines to find you and send you some lovely traffic. So that you can leave. But rather than going through each of these from here, I'm going to dismiss this screen. So this is what a normal dashboard would look like once you're sort of up and running. And you can, nice thing about WordPress is you can drag and drop. So basically you can just drag and drop stuff and move it around how you like on the dashboard. The thing we want to look at this stage is the settings tab. So we're going to first go to general, and you can configure this how you like, but I'm just going to walk you through how I would normally do it. So what you do is the site title, the tagline you can leave, but you can change. So like, for example, here it says our useful blog. Just by changing what's here and saving, that would then change on the front. And so with the site title where it says hostthis.info, if we change this and put something like that, scroll down and hit save changes, come along to the page and hit refresh, and you can see it changes the title for us. Our WordPress address you need to leave as it is. These two you pretty much leave them as you want them to be. It says here enter the address here if you want your site homepage to be different from the directory installed WordPress 2. So you can change that there, so the site address, when someone hovers over it, they'll go somewhere else on your web. You can change that one. Email address you can change. Now here where it says membership, I choose anyone can register, so people can sign up to your blog and they can become a subscriber and they can make comments and things like that. And the reason why I do that is sometimes for spam point of view, people want to leave comments. I make sure they have to be registered and logged in before they're allowed to make a comment. It's entirely up to you. You choose how you want to run this. Now the options as a new user when they sign up, you can make them anything you like. You can even let them be a contributor, an author or an editor, and it's entirely up to you. Usually I leave them set as the default subscriber. You then choose and set up your time zone, so you choose where you are on the calendar, so it shows you what the UTC time is now. And if you look in your Windows clock on your computer, if you see that you're about 2 hours ahead of this time, then you need to change this and make it UTC +2, for example. But that's showing the time zone that you're operating in from your blog, and this will control when you make a post. Later on, if you start doing things like scheduling posts, it will take it based on this time here. Date format, you can change this how you like, and the time format also as well. I'm going to leave mine as it is here. Go ahead and save changes, and now we can choose writing. Size of the post box 20 lines. I tend to leave these as they are here, and now the post category default will be uncategorized because we haven't set any up, so we'll come back and change that later. But when you change the uncategorized category, it will change it here as well. So make sure that you want the default post. When you change your categories, set that up to be what the one you generally like things to default to, and it'll save you having to come back. Default post format you can choose here. I'm going to leave it as standard. Default link category blog roll, I'm going to leave that in a moment because we don't have any of the link categories. Again, we'll talk about that soon. You can skip down here and leave these. You don't want to post via email for now. You can learn how to do that. It is quite simple to do, but this is for more advanced later on. For now, when you're writing your posts, you'll do it all from your WordPress dashboard anyway. Remote publishing, you can enable the Atom publishing tool, and it says to post WordPress from a desktop blogging client, it uses the Atom publishing. Again, I leave these blank at the beginning. I don't check them. Update services, again, I leave this. You can add more in here so that when you publish a new post, it'll update and notify other services as well. Again, at the very beginning, keep it simple. We'll just save changes and go from here. Then we move on to reading. In the reading settings, you're choosing the front page, so your latest post, so it will just show the blog. Or you can choose a static page. Now what this means is if you set up pages, which we only have a sample page at the moment, you can make it so that whenever it comes to your home page of your blog, they'll see a page rather than your latest posts. So it depends on the type of site that you want to present to people. For now, I'm going to keep it as a blog, so I'm going to keep it as latest posts. Blog pages showed at most 10, syndication feeds 10. I switch this to summary. It's entirely up to you. And then I just save the changes. And then we move on to discussion. Okay, so on the discussion settings, you've got the default article. I tend to leave all of these. And then like I said earlier on about the registration, you can make it that they must be registered and log in to comment if you want to. The other thing to do here is an administrator must always approve the content. That way, it's good that if people sign up to your blog, you actually administer the content and make sure people aren't just sending you spam. It can take a bit of time, but if you use a good spam plugin, you won't get a heck of a lot of these anyway. And we'll show you in our little plugin video, ones we recommend. One of them will be, I'll show you a spam one that is pretty useful anyway. So when you're happy with that, you can come down, you can choose Gravatars if you want to show Gravatars. Sometimes it's good to have it. We actually use Gravatar logo a lot, or you can just leave it blank. It's up to you. Then you hit Save Changes. Down to the media option, I tend to leave this one alone at the begin with. You can play with it later if there are things you want to change. The privacy we talked about already, that's allowing the search engines, which we do. And the one you want to take note of that I talked about at the beginning is the permalinks. And as you can see here, the default shows you it goes like post number 1, 2, 3. You want to use at least the post name as the custom structure. You can do it so it's the month and name, or you could do the year and the name. It's entirely up to you. So you can keep the year and the name in. I tend to just use the post name to begin with, and sometimes I'll include the year. And once you're happy with that, you choose change or save changes. And now that way it will actually show the link to the name of the post that curate, not just a number. So that's pretty useful. That's the basic setup tools. In the next video, we'll start to go through some more features and functionality of WordPress.